Being an activist to me means making a difference in my community. I work in an organization that does prevention with gay men, and I see a lot of people with low self-esteem and who take a lot of risks in their lives because of that. And by being a positive figure in their lives and telling my story to them and to everyone who will see this, I hope that it lets people know that HIV is not the end of your life. I have seen a difference in the community. I can tell you one person in particular who had this vision of all HIV positive people being really sickly and being really old, who was shocked to find out that I was positive. And it changed the way that he treated younger people. He himself was positive and older and felt like younger people had it easy, so to speak. For some reason, he seemed to think that we weren't dealing with the same things he was dealing with. And by being open and honest with him and having a discussion with him about who I was and what I was dealing with in my own life, it changed the way he thought about things. Using positive people to spread prevention messages is not only effective, it's necessary. The only way that you can contract HIV is if you come into contact with someone who is positive. So it makes perfect sense to me to have people who are positive to spread the message, because who better to educate people about what HIV is and what it's like to live with it than those of us who are living with it. Strangely enough, it has changed my self-esteem for the better. My outlook on life is that life is too short to waste it doing things that are not meaningful to you. And before I tested positive, I spent a lot of time like going from guy to guy and having sexual encounters that didn't mean anything. I spent a lot of time drinking and hanging out and being out all night with no real purpose. And I feel like now I know what I want to do, I know where I want to be and the person that I want to be. And I've, over the last 7 years, only grown to love myself more. So my outlook on life is constantly getting better as I learn more and more about myself and realizing that I have to do what I want to do and how I want to do it now, as opposed to just saying I'm young and it can wait. So. When I found out I was positive, I called my 3 best friends immediately and told them. They are like brothers and sisters to me, and so I knew that I could tell them and not have a worry about how they would react. They were all very supportive. They were right there with me. Anything I needed, anything I wanted to talk about, they were there to talk to me about. I found out later they were all very upset and emotional, but never in front of me, which I appreciate. I have not lost any friends. I told my family, but not until after I got my first set of blood work done and knew more details, because I knew they would ask questions. Everyone reacted. Of course, they weren't happy about it, but they reacted relatively well, with the exception of my dad and my sister. My dad was angry and very negative about it, and my sister was terrified. But I think that she has come to realize that I'm not going anywhere 7 years later. And I think overall it was a pretty positive experience having told them. And I chose to tell them in the beginning because I didn't think I would be able to live with such a big secret for any long period of time. I would say HIV is not a death sentence. It's especially not in 2007. Of course, the disease affects everyone differently. But it can mean something great for you, because it can give you an opportunity to do something really amazing for yourself and for others. I've always looked at it, since the day I found out, I've looked at it as a wake-up call that I was supposed to be doing something important and something positive with my life. So I would say to someone newly diagnosed, it's hard in the beginning, but you can make something good out of it, and you can make a difference in other people's lives. My name is Chad. I am from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I currently live in San Francisco, California, and I have been positive for almost 7 years.